Alright, so hi everybody. This is the No Levels Early tutorial for the intermediate 40 blueprints route. I'm Cybermelon, and so I'm going to be walking you through this route today. So, let's see, let's talk about this route. So I would recommend this route to you if you want to get into NLE and you've already have some experience with speedrunning the game. Or if you've been running the beginner route for a little while and you want something more advanced. Or if you just, like, you know, want to learn this game and want a little bit more of a challenge. So yeah, if you've ran the beginner route before, this route is going to be pretty different. There's going to be some harder tricks in it, as well as a lot of different golden bananas that you get in the run. But yeah, it's fine. So it's nothing that you can't handle. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best to try to explain all the stuff that's going on and help out with you learning. Alright, so let's talk about this category if you don't know already. So this category is No Levels Early, commonly abbreviated as NLE. So this is just beating the game with a few restrictions. Those restrictions being no entering any levels early, or any level lobbies early, as the name of the category suggests. So that means you have to get the required amount of golden bananas and the required boss keys to open each level and go in the levels in the intended order. Also, you have to fight all of the bosses and turn in their keys. So those are the two main rules of the category. So, yeah, so to start off this category, what we're going to be doing is a glitch called main menu mode. So, main menu mode is a way of tricking the game into thinking that the game will think that we're in the main menu, but we're actually playing the game for the majority of the run. And so what that entails is that there are two modes that the game has. One mode is main menu mode, so it's where you're in the main menu. So you can't pause the game, there's no saving in the main menu. The main menu mode is usually just to access files, access your adventure mode files, and then all of these cool mini games and cutscenes that you can watch. So that's one mode that the game has, and the other mode is adventure mode, you know, where you're actually playing the game, like playing the story mode. So, yeah. And so that's what we're going to be doing. So for the majority of the run, the game will think that we're in the main menu. So that allows us to not take damage, and it allows us to get all of the moves for some reason. Yeah, and so it allows us to not take damage and get all the moves, but also it allows us to, or it prevents us from pausing the game, and also it prevents us from saving the game. So if you're in main menu mode and you reset, then none of your progress will be saved, unfortunately. So yeah, how we're gonna stay in main menu mode, or have the game think we're in main menu mode while we're actually in adventure mode for the majority of the run, is via this glitch called intro story glitch. So intro story glitch, in the main menu, you can have access to all these cool cutscenes that you unlock by just playing the game. So one of these stories, or one of these cutscenes that you can watch, is the intro story cutscene. So the cool thing about this intro story cutscene is that if we activate it and then cancel it on a specific set of frames, then the game will think that we're watching the intro story cutscene when we're actually in the main menu. And so when we have this intro story playing in the background, we can load the data for a lot of moves and weapons and cutscenes in the main menu that we can write to our file while the intro story is going on. So it's sort of a method of memory corruption. And so it's really cool. And so that's what we're going to do for the first 4.5 minutes of the speedrun, is to just load the data for all of the moves, all of the guns, all of the instruments, and we're gonna skip a whole bunch of cutscenes that we have to watch. So we're gonna skip these boss cutscenes too, so we don't have to watch them during the run, and we can just get them out of the way now. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I need to clarify some things. So To run this route, you need to have the NTSC version of the game. A lot of the glitches done in this route are exclusive to the NTSC version, namely swim through vertical walls, which is something we'll get into a little later. So, yeah, if you're on PAL or JP, then this route will not be possible. So, but if you still want to run the game on PAL or JP, there are some other routes. I don't think there's any video tutorials, but there are some other routes for this category that are PAL and JP friendly. So, yeah, if you want those, I will link those in the description. Also, you will need to unlock... you need to unlock at least 10 banana fairies and collect all 8 boss keys, or all 7 boss keys. So you have access to all these boss cutscenes, which we will override. So yeah, that requires you to have 10 banana fairies and all the boss keys collected. Also, you will need a handy-dandy second controller, because to load the data... Oops, excuse me, I bumped my screen there. Because to load the data for the guns and stuff, we need to enter the multiplayer mode, and you can only enter the multiplayer mode if you have a second player active. But yeah, so your second controller doesn't have to be functional, it just needs to have the start button work. That's all it needs to do. So yeah, now that we can get into that, I'll show you how to activate ISG, or intro story glitch. So yeah, so when you press A, timing starts upon pressing A to enter the intro story. Around 2 seconds. On N64 it's 2.1 seconds. On VC, Wii U Virtual Console, it's around 1.9 seconds. So yeah, after either 2.1 or 1.9 seconds, that's when you want to press A again to cancel the intro story. So I'm going to try to do that right now. Alright, so I didn't get it. That was a little early. So how you can tell if you'll get it is after you activate the intro story, if there's no music playing when you come back to the intro story, when you hear Donkey Kong, or if you don't hear Donkey Kong, then that's how you know you got it. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate it now and not screw it up like I did. That was too early. So if you don't have to look at the timer if you don't want to, I usually just do it by muscle memory. So as soon as like the blue shows up on screen, that's when I like to cancel it. So like that. So you see how like the blue just barely showed up on screen, and now there's no music. This means I'm in the intro story. I've activated intro story glitch. So yeah, that's how you do it. It can take some time to sort of get used to, but it's definitely doable. You can use the timer to look at it, or yeah, or you can just do it by muscle memory. I like to do it by muscle memory, but not everyone can do that. Alright, so now that we've done that, I need to explain something about how the intro story works. So the intro story is cut up into a whole bunch of different scenes, and so there are certain scene transitions at certain times. Yeah, during each scene transition, the cutscene, the intro story cutscene does a little fade out to transition to the next scene. And so, if the game notices that you're not actually watching the intro story during that fade out, it's gonna pull you back into the intro story. So, thus, like, killing all the stuff you're doing under intro story glitch. So, but what you can do is you can cancel those fade outs. You can override the fade outs with entering a loading zone or a boss cutscene. In this case, so that's what we're gonna do. So this whole sequence is just under intro story glitch. We're going to be watching a whole bunch of boss cutscenes and loading the data for all of the moves, all the while canceling fade outs from the intro story. So yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do. And a lot of this is gonna move really, really fast. We're gonna try my best to explain it as I go along. So I've tried to explain as much as I can right off the bat before I start. But yeah, so when you need to have your second controller functional, you need to have the 10 banana fairies, you have the intro story, you need to have all these boss cutscenes unlocked. I'd like to set mine boss cutscene to castle boss first, just so when we get to it, during the sequence main menu mode or intro story glitch, I can just get right to it so I don't have to move around or anything. So yeah, you're gonna need all that. You're gonna want to have story skip on. So turn on story skip, and you're gonna want to have file 1 deleted. Files 2 and 3 do not matter, so you're good. If you have any files that you're using for any other things on it. So yeah, if you see my little MMM route, just telling you what to do so you can follow along. Yeah, that's just gonna be there. So the first thing we're gonna do is gotta activate intro story glitch first, and then we're gonna immediately enter our file. So actually, I'm gonna change off controller cam here real quick because I need to see the timer, because some of these fade outs that we need to make are time sensitive. So yeah. All right. Let's get our timer up here. So time starts again when you press A to activate the intro story. So we're gonna do this. Gonna start main menu mode in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got ISG. Make sure story skips on, and file 1's deleted. So yeah, let's go. So we have a lot of play around time here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cancel the first fade out at 55 seconds by entering Cranky's and skipping his text. So we have some time just to kill. Something that I like to do is I like to go for a moon kick off of this tree right here. Didn't quite get it, but that's okay. So yeah, you can just sort of screw around and do all sort of fancy schmancy stuff because nothing really matters right now. So yeah, cool moon kicks, yay. So now just enter Cranky's whenever, as long as it's before around 50 seconds. So as soon as you enter, do not skip the text immediately. We're going to wait until 55 seconds on the timer. And then press B to skip the text when 55 seconds shows up on the timer. So we just canceled a fade out right there. The next fade out we're going to cancel is by entering a bonus barrel. And so, yeah, so just roll to the bonus barrel. It's going to be the one on the back right, if you're looking right at it. So that's the barrel one where you throw all the barrels. So just sort of hang out there and wait till you see 124.5 on the timer, and then press A to backflip in. Should be good. Yep. So you see how it faded out a little bit there, and then it was overridden by the loading zone? That's what you want. Alright, so now just throw the barrels. Throw the last one at the tree, just so it explodes faster. Yeah, that's the new method of doing barrel fast, and it guarantees a 51, provided good execution. So after this, go to the bonus barrel, or the training barrel right in front of you. Just get to it as fast as you can. This is the vine one. So you don't have to do any fancy strats for this, just climb it. You don't want to mess this up, because then you'll have to reset, because you won't make the fade out. So yeah, usually what I go here is just for the basic 52. That's completely fine. Nothing's really going to matter here. So then after this, you want to pause and quit game as soon as you can. So then just mash start through the cutscene and mash up until the DK wrap. Sorry about that background noise if anyone heard it, that was pretty obnoxious. Alright, and so after you clear the DK TV, you want to immediately hold A. And then you just want to inspect your file here. So just hover over it, don't enter it. Then you want to come over here and enter Castle Boss. So you should get faded out. So that's going to skip the cutscene later. As soon as you get faded out, you want to go and enter multiplayer. And then it's going to kick you out immediately. So get that loaded the data for the guns. So every time we fade out, we have to do that. So then go up to Aztec Boss. We're going to get faded again. Then just go back here. And then go into multiplayer, rinse and repeat every time you get faded out. So then we're going to come back here, press up for factory boss. You don't get faded out here, so we just pause exit. So then we go up to Galleon, and we should get faded out here pretty soon. Yeah. Alright, go back to here. And then go right up the fungi boss. Alright, so coming up here is going to be a big source of RNG. So the game, it's going to decide to pull you back into the game after you've loaded all the data, because what we've done here is just skipped all the cutscenes and then loaded the data for the moves. You just want to pause exit out of this as soon as you can, by the way. But yeah, the game is going to decide to pull us into the game, or keep us in the main menu, depending on what happens here. So DK does a whole bunch of idle animations when you just sit around and do nothing in the main menu. So yeah, if you get a certain cutscene, like if you get anything except for when DK shakes his legs when it turns to night, or when it rains, then the game will pull you in, just like so. So you see how I got the Kremling and he was hanging out? That's what pulled me into the game. So if DK shakes his legs, then you won't get faded in, you just have to wait for another cutscene. Same with night cycle, like having it turn to night and having it start raining. So those will not fade you in. Alright, so now we're in main menu. Cool, awesome. Each fade out costs around I think it's like 10-15 seconds. So it can be pretty costly, but yeah. Alright, so you see how we have Super Duper Simian Slam right off the bat, which is one of the final moves you get in the game. So that's how we know we got it. We got all the guns too, we don't have ammo yet, we'll get some later. Got all the instruments, and we cannot pause the game. So let's get back to controller cam here. Yeah, so I'm mashing start, nothing's happening. And I cannot take damage, which is the cool thing. Also, one thing you want to do, since we are eventually going to get out of main menu mode in this run, and we're going to have to do K. Rool being able to take damage, if you're not comfortable with Diddy Phase, what you can do to get 3 melons is you can either do the older method of MMM that's in the beginner route tutorial, that's completely fine, loses about 25 seconds to the method I did here. So yeah, that guarantees you get 3 melons. Or what you can do is after you exit Fungi Boss, you can go right over to Jetpack if you have that unlocked. So you get Jetpack by getting the rare coin. And then right after Fungi Boss, just go into Jetpack and then exit as soon as you can. And so that'll give you 3 melons and also allow you to do this faster method of main menu mode. So yeah, now we can actually kind of start getting into the game. So yeah, just leave DK's house. And we're going to kick down over here to the training barrels that we have not completed yet, which is Orange Barrel and Dye Barrel. So it doesn't matter which order you do them in, really. I like to do Orange Barrel first, but that's just me. Alright, so just go around and collect all the oranges, and so at the end, you just want to jump close to the tree and then throw them all in the tree. So that's the fastest way to get them to explode. So yeah, 54 to 55 is the optimal time for that. Just go over here to Dive Barrel. The best time you can get here is around a 56. Also, remember to mash B to skip text here. Yeah, it's just important because there's a lot of text in this run and you just want to skip it. I am notoriously bad at this barrel. I'm not really good at it, so yeah, 54 is not a very good time for this. Alright, we've completed all the bonus barrels, and so now we're getting to our real, like, trick in the run that's actually in the game and not in the menu. So we're just going to roll down here to the water. We don't want to go in that tunnel, which is how you usually do it. We just want to go to the water. So we're going to do a glitch called Swim Through Vertical Walls. I'm not quite sure how this works. If you want to know like an in-depth explanation about why this glitch happens, former speedrunner and former tasser of this game and finder of the new rainbow coin Isotarge has a pastebin about this, and if you want that, then I'll link it in the description of this video on YouTube. So yeah, as far as I understand it, it's like some sort of number overflow that happens with your character that wasn't patched correctly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to swim through vertical walls. We're going to swim through walls into the loading zone that's usually through this tunnel. So how you do that, it's really easy. This is an NTSC exclusive glitch, by the way. So if you're on Paladin, this will not work. So that's why the route is so different for Pal and JP. So what you're going to do is you're going to dive, you're going to C up, so press C up to go into first person, press C up again to exit, and then hold A, and you just swim right through the wall. So yeah, how I like to set it up so I hit the loading zone is I like to go parallel to the little ledge beside me, so like this, and then swim through vertical walls, and I like to tap just a little bit to my left, and I hit the loading zone, and we're good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Some text here, just smash through it. All good. Alright, after this, we're gonna just hold down and tag warp 4 and skip the text there. And so, yeah, you want to hit warps 4 and 1 right here. So then just roll on over to K-Lumsy. So this is the guy you turn in all your keys to open new levels and to spawn the final boss fight. Alright, so yeah, there's some text here. Pretty slow start to the game, but it's gonna pick up here in a second when we get into Jungle Japes, so no worries. So yeah, just mash through. He's gonna talk to us about how he wants us to help him by getting all the keys and stuff, so he'll help us defeat K. Rool. Get to hear a little funky jam, and he'll romp around and open Jungle Japes for us. Alright, so then just hold up and just roll to the loading zone. You always want to roll as DK because it's the fastest way of moving as DK. Fastest form of traditional land movement as any Kong. So yeah, on your way out you want to tag warp 1 and then just swim to Jungle Japes lobby over here. So there is a little skip you can do here, so this is our first golden banana of the game. And if you hit the loading zone for Japes lobby right behind it, at the same time you hit the golden banana, then you can skip the cutscene. So you want to be like a little bit to the right of it. You don't want to take this much time to set it up in the run, because getting the golden banana and not getting the cutscene skip is only like 5 seconds. But what you don't want to do is just go right past the banana, because that wastes 10 seconds to, or 10 or 11 seconds to not getting the cutscene skip, and 5 seconds to, or 10 seconds to getting the cutscene skip, and 5 seconds to just collecting the GB and not getting the cutscene skip. So yeah, you'll hear me abbreviate golden banana as GB a lot, just because it's easier to say. But yeah, so just go into a little bit of the right. If it doesn't work, it's no big deal. But yeah, I just needed to go a little bit more to the right there. So yeah, just roll to Jungle Japes lobby, kick into this little cutscene here to save some time, skip all the text, and if you're on N64, then yeah, just look down at the ground and it reduces some lag.